As music's centre of gravity shifted northwards, regional stringers like Paul Morley seized the chance to champion local heroes.
The Manchester thing for me was so important because, you know, there were some incredible characters coming out of there, like Mark E. Smith and Howard Devoto and Ian Curtis and Peter Shelley, all at the same time, they did seem to connect with me, the kind of me that liked Can and T-Rex and David Bowie and Brian Eno. I sort of had all those characters, luckily, in my local district, because what had inspired them and living in that area was really what made it all like it was, and then they had me to write about it to make it sort of have a kind of sense. I remember I didn't review the first debut Joy Division album for the NME. And I think that probably was because I was on my bended knees kissing Neil Spencer's feet in tears saying, this is the greatest thing ever on the history of the planet, you have to let me review it. And Neil obviously just went, Max, and gave it to Max Bell. Everything I felt when I first saw them in a club with about 6 or 7 people, you know, literally standing next to Ian Curtis, who was dancing next to me in the audience because there was so much space he could do, was and I was thinking, this is a great band, has sort of come true. Now that's in a way, you know, kind of lucky, because, you know, you could have nailed your flag to some equivalent of the Flock of Seagulls or something, as a lot of, you know, people did. I happened to be in the right place at the right time. And really did, you know, get into a very emotional state. Not the least because my father had killed himself a year or 2 before. And in a way, I was writing out of my system this cataclysmic thing that had happened to me through Joy Division. But luckily, you know, they could, you know, the group and what they were doing and how they did it could cope just about with what I was saying. I mean, it led to their manager calling me a because he was slightly embarrassed by the overwrought nature of which I would hail them as, you know, the most important thing since Dostoevsky or whatever. But I kind of meant it.
Dance, 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 dance to the radio. Dance, 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 dance to the radio. Oh, I was called out when the going gets tough. Things you learn out no longer remember.
Neil Spencer brought Morley to London. He and fellow new boy Ian Penman became the new terrible twins in the London office.
We were the Lowell and Hardy. You know, we found our double act, Morecambe and Wise. We were the double act. We didn't know who was the straight man and who wasn't, but we'd found it. We'd found our place. And that really helped us work our way into the NME, create our areas, you know, fight our battles.